Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies. I'll be your host again, like every time. My name is Daniel King. With me today is my good friend Jackson.
Hello, I'm here.
You gotta eat that mic a little bit. How you been, Jackson?
Good, great. Just working. That's about it. Working, studying.
Yeah,
fun stuff.
What are you studying for? Are you like, is it work related?
Yeah,
study?
work related, and it's just it gets into it's just a lot. It's about 18 months of studying I got to do beyond what I already have. Basically, just to help me move up in the world a little bit.
Well, I know that you and I talked about the show a little bit, and Bird usually our guest. He couldn't make it this week. Mm-hmm. He has third-degree friction burns all over his penis from fucking his old lady probably to death.
Oh, I thought he was gonna go a little hard on Rosie.
Oh, yeah, no. She's birthday girl, and I'm sure she's just gonna fucking ride it until he can't achieve an erection for months.
I mean, great for him.
All right, so we're here to talk about two movies. Are you excited to get into it?
I am pumped.
Okay. So if you're not familiar with the show, what we do is we talk about two movies. In the title, pretty obvious. What's not incredibly obvious is one of the movies, at least one of us perceives as a really good film. The other movie, we deliberately try to pick one that is revered as being awful or not great or And then we're going to watch the second movie, talk about it, and then we're going to talk about what we would have done in hindsight, which is always 2020, to have make it a better or a more profitable film.
Yeah, and I think we have two great movies to go with.
I think we're set up pretty good for today. Yeah. So you picked this one out. What movie did you go with?
Yeah, so starting off with The Color of Money. Growing up, one of those movies that kind of a cult type of movie where you're like, all your friends start to get into that type of movie, and everyone's like, you're playing pool the whole time. Everyone that has a pool as a hobby is copying stuff that they've seen in that movie. Yeah,
and that's a big thing out here where we're from.
Yes.
Again, if this is your first episode you're tuning in for, we are in like rural Missouri. It's kind of shitty. If you're not into meth, there's like nothing to do. So most people that I know are musicians, artists, or really good at some sort of recreational sport. Not to say that that's their only redeeming qualities is not the case. Anyway, we're talking about The Color of Money. This is a Martin Scorsese film on the classic mid-'80s era. So you're going to get a lot of that very obvious, that's so Scorsese kind of shit going on with the camera angles.
A lot of Scorsese stuff, a lot of 80s types of vibes. You're going to very, very time capsulated type of movie.
Screenplay written by a Mr. Richard Price. So evidently, what I've read about this in retrospect, this movie stars Paul Newman, Tom Cruise, Mary Elizabeth. Oh, here we go. Mastrantino?
No idea.
Mastrantino. I'm going to go with that. Also stars the beautiful heartthrob of the 80s, John Turturro, Helen Shaver, and Mr. Bill Cobbs. This had a budget of $10 million and hauled in $52.3 million in the box office. I'm assuming that's a whole lot of money for 1986. Yeah. 52 million sounds like an almost unattainable amount of money in 1986.
What was the budget? You said 13 million?
10.
10?
$10 million.
Yeah.
This movie is actually a sequel to a much fucking older movie called The Hustler that also starred Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason. Jackie Gleason, I read, actually they offered him a cameo in this, and he turned it down for whatever reason. Even though the screenplay is written by Richard Price, this is kind of really seen more as Paul Newman's movie.
Oh, for sure.
Paul Newman approached Scorsese about it and drove fucking Richard Price just absolutely up the wall with all the script changes. But it turned out nicely. It's a pretty fun movie, if I'm going to be honest with you. Quick synopsis. Fucking Paul Newman, hotshot hustler, pool shark, sees Tom Cruise, who's just a gifted young player, wants to teach him how to be a hustler and kind of pass the torch sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of. So there's a lot to it. So as a sequel, you can almost look at it. When I first watched the movie when I was younger, I didn't know it was a sequel.
Right.
I probably didn't know 10 years past the first time I watched it that it was a sequel.
You probably also didn't know that that was the salad dressing guy.
Right. I'm like, I don't... Exactly. So when I first watch it, you don't know it's a sequel. So it's almost a standalone movie. And then you go back.
That's how I watched it. Yeah. I read about it being a sequel after the fact. I've never seen The Hustler. It's like from the 60s.
Right. So a 20-year sequel, like... Are you supposed to know that there's a movie prior to this?
You don't get a ton of those, except maybe one day we'll take a look at Bill and Ted. Right. That's like one of the only other ones I can think of.
Yeah, exactly. There's not many that span that far, and from what I know, that it connects very well to the original movie as a sequel piece.
I'll have to watch it sometime. My dad's really into like Jackie Gleason kind of stuff, so I've seen some of it. I may have actually sat in on some of The Hustler before, but just didn't know what I was watching.
So I would say a couple of things as far as the sequel goes, and so to go off of what you're saying on the just kind of the synopsis. It's, if you look at it, it can be a pool movie, it can be the sequel to The Hustler, it can be a standalone Hustler movie where you're learning all these things about kind of gambling and this pool scene that is not around anymore. I'm sure there's like a national scene, which I kind of feel like they're trying to do, but this seems like real local. Like you go into a dive bar and you're playing, it's like, oh, this place is really just a dive bar. And you go in there and it's like everyone else, all the girls are going to hate that place. Everyone is going to hate that place except the people that play pool and gamble on the people that are playing pool. So it gets you in that scene of, oh man, this is fun. It's
it does.
High stakes.
It feels sleazy.
Yeah.
Which I have a joke about that later in the show. We'll get to it. I tell you what, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in and start going through the story here.
Yeah.
What I do is I take a painstaking approach to the movie to tell you every fucking thing about it. So if you've never seen The Color of Money with Paul Newman and Tom Cruise, and you want to, and you don't want to have the whole movie spoiled for you down to every last detail, you should probably stop listening to this and go watch the movie.
Just a pause and go,
or you
go
can
watch
skip the movie and listen to this instead, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, I know all about The Color of Money, bitch. It's green.
It's so rewatchable. You could listen to this and go enjoy yourself again.
Yeah, you really could. It does. It's got a lot of replay value. It's charming.
It has a lot of quotes that you want to continue to say.
Yeah, there's a lot of good one-liners in it and stuff. Yeah. That's exactly what I would expect from 1986 Martin Scorsese production. You know what I mean? It's by the way, he got the idea for Goodfellas while he was making this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something about like some background character conversation or something. It just kind of sparked an interest in him, and that's where we get Goodfellas from.
And that plays off...
Allegedly.
Well, and that also, that plays off really well off of just the dialogue. You can see how entertaining dialogue can be. It doesn't have to be, big action stuff. There a lot of talking is done in this movie, and a lot of
and it starts right up at the top.
Yep.
There is a very cool, like, kind of, I don't want to say like a widescreen shot. It's like a slow pan of was like a pool table and some ashtrays and empty beer bottles and shit.
Yep.
And there's an uncredited actor doing a voiceover, like a little spoken word intro. That actually is Martin Scorsese. That's why he's not credited.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Scorsese does the intro for that.
You know how many times I missed that first part of the movie? It's one of those movies you turn on, it's like, oh, it's on, I'm watching it. When I rewatched it this time, I was like, I didn't even know this first scene was there.
I'll be honest with you, I thought it was opening credits until it was like 3/4 of the way over, and I'm like, shit, I missed it. But I also didn't rewind it because I got to watch a fuck ton of movies for this show.
But it was a fun opening because they kind of explain nine ball. They explain some pool lingo and get you right into it.
Good, sexy talk down intro. I liked it.
Yeah.
We see Paul Newman. He's opening up, flirting with a bartendress. And, man, I gotta tell you, man, I don't know how old Paul Newman is in 1986, but he is smooth as fuck. I bet actual cause of death. Do you know how Paul Newman died?
I do not.
He drowned in pussy. That's actually how he died. I don't know what I don't know what the coroner wrote. Yeah.
Or face up.
Probably face up, you know what I mean? From his toes to his face. just drowned in it. There's a bit where he's talking to the waitress and she's asking him to get her turkey labels. And are they talking about like counterfeit whiskey that they can get for cheaper and put in a wild turkey bottle? Is that the thing that they're talking about?
So Paul Newman's character Eddie, who is Fast Eddie and the Hustler, his character in this movie is his career now has taken him into being he's
just a general shitbag.
Well, no, not not necessarily. No, he's selling. At one point in the movie, he says, I excel in excellence, or I sell excellence."
Okay,
something along the lines of that.
So
but he's in. So what he's doing is, as a job, is selling bars, like wild turkey or some counterfeit nonsense,
knockoff booze, but he just tells them how great it is.
Let's put some labels on it. That's wild turkey. And,
yeah, there you go. Okay,
so it's a hustle. It's a hustle from the beginning.
Yeah, so he's just a con man, which is short for confidence man. So we've got young Tom Cruise we see with a Phil Collins intro, and the whole scene between Tom Cruise and Paul Newman and Tom Cruise's girlfriend, what's her name in the movie?
Karma.
Played by Mary Elizabeth.
She is hot.
I'm not going to attempt her last name again. Yeah, I will. Mastrantonio?
Yeah, close.
Mastrantonio, whatever. Close enough. Don't fucking at me about that. That's a murderous last name. Look at it. It's terrible. This whole opening scene where you can see like kind of how all sleazy and filthy that they are might be the sleaziest thing that's ever happened to Phil Collins.
I mean, you know how many movies or just situations in general with... In the Night, what's the fucking song?
By Phil Collins?
Yeah, is it In the Night?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's that,
I was like, am I saying
song.
that right? Yeah, just imagine. Yeah, okay, you don't have to imagine, but it's...
Yeah. Eddie introduces himself to Vincent, Tom Cruise's character, who is way young and somehow looks a little bit creepier. Tom Cruise had a sweet spot where he was a very handsome man for like 15 years. Now he's terrifying to me. And when he was real young, like in this, he looks like a serial killer.
Do you see his haircut in this movie?
Oh.
His hair is a New York City kid top.
Oh, it's huge.
I don't know what's going on there, but it's like...
It's almost like a pompadour
1950s, like slick back top. I don't know how to explain it.
It's not slicked back, though. It's like slipped.
It's like straight up.
Up and then back.
Like, I watched that. So like I was watching that during the movie. I was like, man... That's a weird haircut. Now, more that I look at it,
nobody else in the movie, though. Everybody else has a super normal haircut that still stands up.
Yeah.
So he introduces himself, and Paul Newman essentially invites the duo, Karma and Vincent. He invites them to dinner. Is it Karma or Carla?
Maybe it's Carla. I thought I was hearing Karma.
You know what?
We could probably look that up. On the very intro part of it, one of my favorite lines that I still have in my head.
Carmen.
Carmen. Oh, shit.
Carmen, like Carmen Sandiego.
Carmen.
Yeah, we got that. I don't want to attempt her last name a million times. It's fucking awful.
So one of the lines in the opening scene, like they're explaining like just pool to people that don't play pool. And it's very...
So me.
Right.
You're explaining
I don't
me.
know. Well, you play pool. You're pretty good.
Shit.
So they're explaining pool, and they're putting in some terms and just kind of getting into that, you're in this pool mood. And they're explaining 9-ball compared to regular 8-ball or straight 8. So
I totally know exactly what you're talking about.
So,
but they explain the rules. It goes through pretty smoothly. Yeah.
And one of the quotes that comes up is they're explaining that you can be lucky and still win. You can make 9-ball. If you don't know, you have to make the final ball, the 9-ball, to be the winner of the game. You have to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 balls in a row, or you have to hit those balls in the pocket first before you get to the 9-ball.
Right.
So if player 1 goes up, knocks all first 8 balls in, and then misses the final shot on the 9-ball, the second guy comes up, knocks the ball in, he wins.
Yeah, because it's whoever hits the 9-ball.
Whoever hits the 9. Also, if you off the break when your first shot, if you make the 9-ball off the first shot,
you win.
You win.
Yeah.
So the quote that comes off of that is, some say luck itself is an art. So there's a luck aspect to this game.
Yeah, I get you. Fast Eddie offers to take Vincent and Carmen to dinner, where he takes him out for a nice slice of pie and a cup of coffee. There's a scene in here where he kind of bets him because he's trying to egg him on. Like, he's telling him about, here's what I'm good at. I'm good at people.
Right.
And he kind of hustles him right there at the table. And then there's a bit where he's like, oh, I can get this broad to leave with me in 2 minutes. It's his girlfriend. So he just walks up to her and quietly says, it's going to sound weird. I need you to come look at the car with me.
So that whole
like, yeah, come on.
That whole scene is very well done when you look at it from what they're actually trying to show. So the first thing he asks Vincent, who's Tom Cruise, first thing that Eddie asks Vincent is, I'll bet you that, well, he makes a bet that he knows he's going to lose, right?
Yeah.
And then he hustles him. He raises the stakes the very next bet. He says, you know what? I'll bet you, well, I don't know what he bets. I forget now. But he'll bet him something at a higher stake that I can leave this bar with this girl. He's like, oh, sure. I just won on the first bet. Like, why wouldn't I take that bet on a crazy bet here? So it's all part of a hustle. And he knows the girl at the bar. And he's like, hey, just do me a favor. Let's leave. Just don't ask questions. Let's leave. Yeah, let's just go. And he stops over at the table. And in a very gangster way, he's like, nah, don't worry about the bet. And dinner, it's on me. And he drops a $10 bill on the table. And it's supposed to be like, whoa, big ballin' daddy. That part of this movie is not aged well from 1986. Like, $10 should be like, so you want me to pay for half of these 2 slices of pie and coffee? 2 slices of pie, 3 cups of coffee, present day. What do you think you're paying for that? $35. $35? I think. Man, you hold pie in really high regard. Depends on where you get the coffee, though. That's for sure. Like, some places you go, it's like $1.25. Some places it's like, well, I'm thinking, yeah, okay. $9. I'm thinking city prices here. I'm not thinking.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just I don't know. It's he just drops $10 on the table like he's big ballin', and like Tom Cruise is like, whoa, who is this crazy guy?
Yeah, that's another thing that I kind of noticed. Like, that's so different than today. Is the movie is called The Color of Money. Today, it's just, you know, your Visa card, your bank card, whatever. Right. Like, you don't get to feel the money. You don't get to pass around. It's very well presented in the movie of, here's $100. There's cash everywhere.
Here's $1,000. Yeah, there is.
It puts you in that scene of it's just you're in the scene and there's money being exchanged.
A lot of cold hard cash. I even have it written down here. That whole scene just works. It's shot really well. Right. If I had one note, there's a couple bits where the sound is just, it's like they couldn't get the boom mic over the top without creating a shadow, so they tried to go like maybe underneath, or there's one bit where there's an exchange and the sound is just,
well, how many 80s movies are like that, though, Jesus right?
Christ,
like, if Martin Scorsese can't fucking do it.
Yeah, right. Fucking all of them.
They all fucked it up.
It's very forgivable. Little tiny thing. I've got written here in my notes that fucking Paul Newman's sick-ass Cadillac is just an absolute boat. White caddy, red velvet fucking interior. Yeah. God, it's fucking just an absolute sex machine.
Well, another thing
for 1986.
Right, another thing that may not have aged very well. Cash didn't age well. A badass car didn't age well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's kind of like does. It's like, kind of a grandpa car. If you've ever seen like an old boat style Cadillac, it's just a big comfy ass fucking car.
But back then, that was you are the man when getting in that car.
Dude, that's baby making territory in the backseat of that caddy. You know what I'm saying? Put the seat covers on. So fast forward a little bit. Paul Newman invites Tom Cruise on a quote unquote road tour of Pool, and they're going to Atlantic City as the final stop. So he agrees. They get in the caddy and they're fucking road tripping, and the soundtrack's pretty dope.
The whole goal, basically, of the movie, or not of the movie, but kind of the trip you're taking is Paul Newman meets Tom Cruise in this pool hall, and Paul Newman decides, hey, this is he reminds me of me, and I know what I used to be able to do. So we're gonna go take this trip and hop from city to city, with our end point being this national type of championship thing in Atlantic City.
We're going to hustle the best pool players in the world.
And the whole time you're there, the whole story that they're doing is a hustle from A to B. And then there's a little mini hustles from I don't know what's in between A and B. It's like little dots.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Other A subparagraph A1.
Right.
So there's a bit where after he agrees, Paul Newman gives Tom Cruise like a super sexy, expensive pool cue, and they call it a balbushka.
The balbushka.
Balbushka, not actually a balbushka. It's a Joss N7.
Oh wow! So in the movie, they repeated that damn name 14 times.
Oh, it's a balbushka. Oh, the balbushka.
Can I have the balbushka?
Oh my God! Did you see he's got a balbushka over there? Yeah, it's a huge point of the whole movie. It's not a balbushka. It's a Joss N7 model.
So I did look up balbushka today. It's still the top 5. It's still in the top 5 expensive pool cues.
Yeah, that's a.
So what I think their big point was to say this is a damn expensive pool stick that he's walking around with.
I don't know who would spend that much money on something that frivolous, he said while sitting in a room worth thousands and thousands of dollars of just toys and bullshit.
I mean, you really get into a hobby. I mean, I guess a basketball player doesn't pay a lot of money for a basketball.
How much modern money are we talking does a balbushka pool cue go for?
So
a couple grand?
$1,500 or so.
$1,500 for a stick,
for a pool stick, and it was number 5 on the top 5 list. So
yowza.
It's not even the top. It's not even number 1. It might have been number 1 in the '80s when they shot the movie. Mm-hmm. It was probably like maybe a clear advertising. Like everyone's buying a balbushka now.
Yeah. So they get to this actually sales for like pool cues and stuff skyrocketed after this movie came out.
I bet. I mean, I bet the whole pool scene changed.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. So yeah, not actually a balbushka, although you hear everybody say it like 1,000 fucking times in the movie. This is probably my favorite part of the whole movie. Is if you back it all the way up to the beginning scene, John Turturro used to be Eddie's like main man hustler pool guy that he would back his bets, but like was his number 1 guy. He totally dropped that fucking dude for Tom Cruise. So they bump into him at this pit stop and he's like, hey, you got a little something on your nose. And it like John Turturro's clearly been doing a ton of cocaine. And it's just funny because it's 1986. You know what I mean?
He hasn't aged a freaking day, dude. I saw
John Turturro. He looks great.
I saw him and I was like, where do I know him?
From all over the fucking place.
First thing that came to mind, he's the butler off Mr. Deeds. It's like,
have you ever seen Barton Fink with John Turturro and John Goodman?
I have not.
St. Louis's own John Goodman.
Yes.
It's fantastic. It's like it's painted as like a black and white. It's really great though. It's not like a super duper old movie. It's just made that way deliberately. It's fucking so fun. Really good movie. We're not here to talk about that though. We're here to talk about The Color of Money.
Yeah.
They're going on the road. They stop at there's a cool little diner scene where they're like at some just greasy spoon mom and pop diner where they're all kind of razzing each other and talking shit.
They have a couple of those scenes where they're in a diner situation, like in the morning. Well, if you think about it, late nights in a pool hall, you wake up early in the morning, let's go, or maybe you're hungover still. Yeah. And you're like,
there's a little something stick to your ribs, some eggs and
so
grits.
It still puts you in that scene, which is very well done, you know.
What's your favorite diner breakfast? If you were in a diner for breakfast, you get whatever you want. What are you getting?
Oh, while I'm at the diner.
Yeah, what are you getting for breakfast?
I'm getting an omelet. Like a Western style omelet with some peppers, some jalapenos, some salsa, some bacon.
Not bad.
Man, I'm getting hungry talking about it.
My real go-to is anybody's got like a solid eggs Benedict and coffee, just all enough caffeine to kill a small child.
I could think of breakfast. Like I'm just sitting there thinking about breakfast and I'm getting hungry. I get, biscuits and gravy done well, man. You can't beat that. Like someone that does it real, like not like a made from store type of place.
No, we're talking scratch.
Like grandma's. Grandma just
scratch. You gotta make that roux out of the sausage grease. All right.
I'm getting hungry.
Okay, so their first stop to actually play some pool is going to be the Lincoln Tap Room. And they go in the Lincoln Tap Room, and it's like a closed furniture warehouse.
Right. Yeah. So their first step is Eddie is pumped. He's like, oh, I feel young again. I'm getting back into it.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I'm ready to get up in here and chum it up with all the boys.
I got goosebumps. It's going down. They run up the stairs. These places he used to be 20 years ago in the 1960s. He runs up the stairs with Vincent, and they get in there, and it's just a junk. It's huge, but it's just filled with junk.
Right, yeah, like old furniture
Like,
and shit.
Bro, how do you not know this wasn't closed? Like, it's a entertaining first kind of scene on their first.
It is, yeah. It's really good, and Tom Cruise is just like ripping him a new asshole, just burning him and stuff nonstop. He's like, all right, hot shot, get in the car. Paul Newman is so fucking smooth in every way. He's like if James Bond was sleazier. he's like dirty James Bond,
but in a good way.
Yeah,
like,
it really is. Like, man, I'll buy that dude drinks all night just to listen to him tell stories.
If James Bond was your friend,
yeah. If James Bond was like a real life character that you knew,
he'd be Paul Newman.
He wouldn't be a spy. He'd be fucking Paul Newman in The Color of Money.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he would be just that. Oh, that guy. Mm-hmm. I want to hang out with that guy.
And then he'd bang your girlfriend on a jet ski.
Yeah, it got a little weird in part of the movie. Like, what's? He's playing the hustle though. Like, he calls that hustle out on the. Maybe we'll get there, but
yeah, we'll get there pretty quick. But Paul Newman's smooth. And one thing I do want to interject, since we're getting close to the middle of the movie here. The pacing in this film is perfect. There are no super long, drawn out, incredibly unnecessary scenes yet. There are two that you just don't need them. Right. In 1986, that was the thing. That was how you filled some time, and it looked good. You put some popular background music behind it, you're fucking good to go. It's a good scene. Anymore, it's just unnecessary. You just don't need it. Well, I'll talk about it shortly.
But it's a 2-hour movie, right, or something like that, an hour or 180 minutes.
I want to say it's like right at 2 hours.
There are a ton of different scenes, and you don't feel like there's a ton of different scenes,
right?
But you get a lot of action out of those scenes with the dialogue in those scenes.
Oh, for sure.
So you're in all these different pool halls, which is part of the journey, right? To get to Atlantic City, we got to go through all these pool halls and make him a hustler along the way.
It's his hero's journey.
So you get to see instead of one or two scenes like you would have nowadays, you'd only get one or two pool halls, right? Mm-hmm. Well, they're like 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I don't know how many. They go to
a bunch of them. So the next one they go to is an actual pool hall inhabited by people and not just like old couches and wicker furniture and shit. The thing I liked about this, I read later that the guy that put the sound together for this hated all the music that got picked for it. He was like not happy with the way that it turned out. Somebody didn't like it. I don't remember who.
I love the soundtrack.
I like it too. It's very 1986. It's 1986 as it can be.
It's very backgroundish too.
And one thing that you should always remember, it's in the way that you use it. The
soundtrack does so well that like you hear a song but you've been hearing that song for about 2 minutes now, and you're like, oh, that's part of the scene. Mm-hmm. So it kind of complements the scene almost every time, in a good way. Yeah.
So that's like Tom Cruise's essentially like intro. All right, motherfucker, I'm here to play pool music. It's the way that you use it. It's in the way that you use it. I think it's Eric Clapton. Could be wrong. I think sure that's Clapton.
So one thing about
shit, that might be the boss. I'm gonna check.
Is it?
Oh no. Oh yeah, it's Clapton. All right.
So one thing to go along on that first scene in well, not first scene, but the first real scene, Tom Cruise gets to like show off his stuff.
Yeah.
Beyond the original scene, but to other people that he doesn't know. And during that scene, like you get to kind of see, like Eddie always is saying that, you know, Vince, he's a character, he's a stallion, he's this one-off person that is great at what he does. He just doesn't know how to manipulate it to make money off of what he does.
Right.
You can be the greatest player at pool,
and certainly not.
But are you going to make money doing that? Like if you win the national title in wrestling in the U.S., I don't think you make any money. So that's kind of the same way with pool back in the day. You probably made, you know, a small, you know, not even a year's worth of salary. Mm-hmm. So back then it's, how do I make money off this thing that I'm really good at?
You have to like trick people.
You got to hustle. Yeah. And one of the scenes, Eddie says, the money's not made on tournaments. It's not made where you go and play and win the prize there.
It's made in the practice room.
The money's made in the practice room.
Yeah.
So that, you know, that's where the hustle's at. How do we get to the practice room? How do we get to people wanting to put money on the table and wager a little bit?
The only time somebody is going to throw down $1,000 on a fucking pool game is if they are positive they're going to win. That's it. You have to make them positive they're going to win and then make them lose. That's the only way to, and that's the hustle portion.
That's the hustle. And I love that part of this movie. It's there's more than one hustle, but the pool part of the hustle is, people try to do that nowadays, but you got to be really damn good at pool to actually pull it off, because you have to be the best person in the room to the extent that you can miss a shot on purpose and know where that shot's going to end up. Right. To know exactly where it's going to end up. You know, that's been my secret. I've been hustling everybody for 35 years, and I'm actually the greatest pool player in Missouri. Just no one's ever bet me $1,000 for a game, so, you know, I haven't turned it on yet. Well, let's, you know, maybe I'll test it out someday. And
yeah, maybe
soon. You got $5?
Just wait till you put the $1,000 on the table and then run.
No, you got $10 that, you know, you can throw down.
So he plays, like the first guy he goes to play is like a guy named, I think his name's Grady Seasons, and he really looks like Fez off that 70s show, which is not weird because he's not that outdated. This guy's living 6 years in the past, and it's the 70s.
Right.
So,
yeah, he looks straight out of the 70s. Fucking, even in an 80s movie, he looks straight out. His hair's parted down the middle, kind of
weird, like, big hair.
Like, what's going on with that?
I don't know. You know, fashion. What are you gonna do?
And part of so how this character's introduced is he's the best cash player around. Vincent takes, you know, his ego takes a shot at that, and he's like, let's try that out. Yeah. Is he? So, and the whole time here, part of the hustle is being able to act like you're not good at it. Not as good as you say you are, or like you're having a rough night. And Vincent, he has with any person that's great at what they do, your ego has a problem with letting that, you know, someone else be better at you on purpose. And especially when they start talking shit. So in this scene, Grady Seasons, he starts saying, he says, he's talking some mad shit. He's like, oh man, it's like a nightmare. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It keeps getting worse and worse. Shit. And if you're the best pool player and you think you're the best pool player in the world, and someone starts talking shit to you like that, you're going to turn it up a notch. You're going to say, all right, I'm going to bury you right now. I don't care what else is on the line. And Eddie's whole thing with Vince at this point is, we want to get to Atlantic City and make you an underdog at Atlantic City. So we can bet on you. So we can bet on you. Make a fuck ton of money. So you can't stand out during this road trip. You cannot stand out in a way that you just beat the #1 cash player in the world, and you just showed him up. You can't do that. Yeah. You're going to get recognized if you do that. Right, which we don't want. So yeah, he doesn't understand the purpose of the road trip is for him to practice at pretending like he's not the best. Exactly. Until the last minute. That's where you turn it around and then you make a ton of money. Yeah. This is one of my first and only actual problematic scenes in the entire movie. I don't want to give you the impression that I didn't like it. I had a ton of fun watching this. Like, I actually really, really like this. I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. But there are like 3 or 4 like pool gameplay montages in this movie. You could do without all of them, except maybe one, and then the one that you keep, cut it in half. They're all just way too long. Like, you have this montage that makes it seem like they've been playing pool for 6 fucking hours. And then when they back out of the montage, they are still playing It's in the Way That You Use It by Eric Clapton. Well, let me push back a little bit on that, because if you know what you're looking at and you're watching that pool game, you're like, oh. Is it one game? Yeah, well, okay. There's a couple of scenes where it's like, how many damn games did you guys play there? It's got to be more than one. Yeah, it's got to be more than one. And also, but then that also plays into not just the pool game side, but the hustle side. How many times does it take to get this guy to get that guy to put $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on the table? Exactly. So I think some of that's done pretty well. There's probably a couple scenes that are a bit too long. But it's a game about pool and hustling. So.
Yeah, it's just the montage scene. Nothing about them actually playing pool is unnecessary at all. It's fucking great. I like it a lot. Tom Cruise learned quite a bit of the shots for this. He didn't have time to learn them all though because it was slowing down production. Hey, Tom Cruise loves
his own stunts. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Every damn movie he's ever done, I think he's tried to do his own stunts.
He tries to do all of them that they will let him do. He is like, I'll do it.
Starting with pool.
Because he's fucking insane.
And cocktail. He's probably, I can do cocktail. He's like, I can do my own stunts here.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope if you know all those like bottle spinning tricks and shit. That's pretty cool.
I'm learning a lot here.
I had totally forgotten from when I was a kid. I'm a big fan of Forrest Whitaker. Totally forgot he was in this. I was like, oh shit!
Exactly. Like he comes out of nowhere. So
cool cameo. And you know what does he do? Hustles the hustler.
He's a hustler.
Catches Paul Newman feeling like he's on fucking cloud 9. Paul Newman goes out with the fake babushka or whatever it is.
Babushka.
The fucking...
No, sorry. The balabushka.
Yeah. I was like, a babushka is like a grandma.
They do get to... So how they get to Forrest Whitaker is... it's a pretty cool a scene how they get to that. They get into this really nitty-gritty pool hall. Mm-hmm. Right? And they see a deep pockets person that's going to have $5,000 in his pockets ready to put on the table and play. And Vince goes in there and screws it up so he plays Eddie. Like, so they get to a table and Vince and Eddie play. Eddie, at this point, Vince doesn't know how he plays. He doesn't know if he's a good player. He says he's a good player, but he's sponsoring him this whole time. So he's just putting cash up for our Vince. So when they get to this scene and Vince and Eddie are playing pool against each other, Vince is like, well, let me test him out a little bit. Let me see how good he really is. Mm-hmm. And he just whoops his ass. Mm-hmm. And Eddie takes offense to it and leaves. And then they circle back and hold on. Where am I at here?
Let's see here, because I've got it chronological. Let me read a couple here.
Yeah. Where are you at? So you had, what was that first? Where did I start off with that? I was trying to circle back to that.
Classic. Okay, gotcha.
Forrest Whitaker. That's what you're talking
So,
about.
well, we might have skipped a part because there's a bit where Paul Newman gets upset with Tom Cruise and he's like, "Listen, you're not fucking listening to me. Let me show you how to hustle. Let me actually show you how to hustle. We're gonna do a thing called Two Brothers and a Stranger."
Okay, so we skipped a couple scenes there when we went to Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I think we skipped this one scene.
Okay.
So what they do is Tom Cruise goes in there. He starts playing pool with the guy. He's losing. They got money on the table. It's like a $50 game. Paul Newman comes in with Tom Cruise's girlfriend as if she is Paul Newman's girlfriend. So he's got his hands all over her, and he's drinking at the bar. He's watching the pool game, and he's kind of heckling. And then eventually he's like, "Fucking, I got $500."
Well, and
says that this kid fucking chokes, and the other guy's like, "Yeah, I'll do 1,000."
Right, and Vince is playing this kind of schmuck guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they introduce it as Two Brothers and a Stranger. I think.
Yeah,
I think hustle.
I think that's what the hustle's called.
So yeah, you have Tom Cruise playing this guy, and he's losing already. Mm-hmm. Vincent is losing already to this other guy, and you have Eddie over to the side. And he's just heckling, like you said. He's
just trying to razz him. Everybody's like, "Man, shut the fuck up, you dick."
Well, and he's not just picking on Vince either. He's
picking on the other guy too. He's like, "Whoa, big money game, huh? How much money you got on the table, big guy?"
He goes, $50. Is
that
what you got?
Everybody else in the room's like, $50 on this game? Damn, that's a lot of money. And of course, Vince is like, well, I've got $10 on 2 pieces of pie, so I have pretty deep pockets. Yeah, so they're doing that, and then they get into a little bit of a tiff because Tom Cruise didn't like the way Paul Newman's like smacking her ass and just loving on her a little strong.
Yeah, and they make it very clear that like Vince is playing this game of pool, and he's trying to focus on what he's trying to do. He knows the hustle, but then he's looking over and he's seeing Eddie like handling his woman. He's like, "What the hell is going on over there? I'm trying to do what I'm doing, and they're over here just making out
just
and
fucking.
He may as well be banging on the bar at this point." So that's in his head. He's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. So they go outside and they have a bit of a row about that. And he's like, "Listen, we're playing a part." So then Paul Newman goes back to the hotel room. He gets the stick and he goes out to play because Tom Cruise is happy now. He like got laid and he's jumping on the bed acting like a lunatic. So he takes the Balbushka, which is not really a Balbushka. And this is where he goes into a different pool hall and he goes to play Forrest Whitaker. Surprise, surprise, the hunter has become the hunted, and Forrest Whitaker hustles Paul Newman out of like a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Like $4 or $5 grand.
And this scene gets kind of long.
Can you imagine getting just fucking taken like a sucker for $5 grand in a night?
And Forrest Whitaker plays the dummy, man. He's like, I've been in this university study where they're testing. I'm a test subject.
They're doing experiments on me because
like,
he's got his weird lazy eye and his Forrest Whitaker face.
Lazy eye, and at the very end he goes, "Are you mad because I'm overweight?"
Yeah, he's like, should I
lose some weight?
Should I lose some weight?
Something like this. Like,
let me ask you a serious question, Eddie.
Like, because like,
think I can stand to lose a few pounds?
So basically, he's like, Eddie, you judged me when you first came in here. You knew I wasn't a pool player. Mm-hmm. In your mind, you knew I wasn't a pool player. I've been hustling you
since the moment he walked in the door without even knowing it.
That's all part of the hustle.
It was really great to see Forrest Whitaker in it. They've got like it might be like a 10-minute scene. It's a pretty good lengthy scene.
It is.
Where they're chit-chatting back and forth and just kind of getting to know each other. And Paul Newman's getting hustled and getting drunk and getting fucking pissed off. And which rightfully so.
Well, he's trying to turn back to his younger days. He's feeling that confidence again. Mm-hmm. He's feeling like he's Vince.
Falsely.
And he's got the swagger. He's like, nobody can touch me tonight. And this whole time, he's been getting hustled with his confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just out counting the con man. So about the time that he's losing all his money, Vince and Carmen show up. And they're like, hey, Eddie, what are you doing? Whoa. And he gets all pissed off. He's like, fuck you. I'm leaving. I'm a piece of shit. I should have never even told you to come on this road trip. Here, take $6,000 or whatever he's got left. He gives it to him. He's like, you finish the road trip. I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah, so he cuts him off and he's like, I'm terrible at pool. Like, this has been my whole life.
Yeah,
like, this has been my whole life. And I get to this point and this dude just mops the floor with me on my own hustle.
Yeah.
And he feels he's at a very low point. And he's like, as a character, so this is a sequel. So, this is coming off of that first movie where he's the main character. He's the main character in this movie. And he's like, I just got beat. Like, this is not even fair.
Bad, too. I mean, like, he took a real fucking ass whooping.
So they separate their ways there, and new journey begins. And I will note, part of this is Paul Newman. You don't stay with Tom Cruise, so you this is Paul Newman's movie.
Oh yeah, this is definitely Paul. This is a Paul Newman film, co-starring Tom Cruise.
Exactly. So they split these scenes here, or they go their separate ways. They're going to meet in Atlantic City, and Paul Newman goes one way. Tom Cruise takes this other route of hopping pool halls to refine the hustle.
Oh yeah.
Until he gets to Atlantic City, which he does great once he gets there. And Paul Newman is on this kind of journey of how do I become younger and confident again?
Okay, so they're both having separate journeys. Tom Cruise, which we don't really see, is actually learning how to hustle. Paul Newman, the bit that we're actually watching, it's like kind of fucking Stella gets her groove back if her groove is Paul Newman being good at pool.
Paul Newman being a badass and getting these crazy weird.
He gets some pretty fucking cool like rose gold reading glasses or like just prescription glasses.
Were those a thing back then? Because now I'm thinking and envisioning people like in
movies. Talking about the rose colored lenses.
Well, not just that, because the rose colored lenses, but like being able to. Instead of just regular eyeglasses, right? That you're wearing, you have these big
like
70s glasses, aviators that are lensed where you can see better.
Yeah, prescription
seeing better out of aviators. Prescription
rose lens aviators.
And you kind of get that. You're like, I've seen that before. I didn't know they were prescription where you can see better out of them. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's wild. So anyway, that's the thing the whole time. So you see Paul Newman, he's like, getting his practice in. He goes and gets his eyes checked up. He gets new glasses. This is the montage for this bit. Good. Done really well.
Yeah.
It's not like the gameplay when it was just too long. It's too long of the same camera shot over and over and over and over and over and over and over from different angles. So the third act of this movie kicks off. They're at the Classic in Atlantic City.
Right.
And this is where, Paul Newman, a.k.a. Stella, has got her/his respective grooves of playing pool back.
And this is, so for me, when I watch this final act, this is where you see Scorsese, that touch, like, this is definitely a Scorsese movie. He wraps everything up so well on this final act. It's nice. One
of the things I really like, my favorite cinematography bit from the whole movie, I wish I could remember what scene it's in. They're either leaving or I'm pretty sure they're exiting or they're entering a pool hall, but I'm pretty sure they're leaving. And the camera shot is just of the floor. Like, it's just of the floor, like where the doormat would be.
Right.
And it's like a grouted tile floor, and it's just fucking filthy. And that to me is Martin Scorsese. He'll always show you something that you'd be like, ugh.
Why am I seeing that?
Well, yeah, why you show me that? Because it's, real life's gritty and
but it
whatever.
puts you in the movie.
It really does. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're in this nasty fucking place where people are just fucking passing out
where
money
nobody
like crazy.
would go to have a good time except a gambler or a pool player.
Yeah. So they've got this tournament style place set up. They got a bunch of pool tables out there. It's actually a pretty cool setup. They've got stadium seating around it and a big judges panel up at the front.
It makes you like, oh, this is big time.
It looks pretty cool. It's like, you ever been to a horse race?
Not a horse race. I've been to a dog race in Florida.
That's pretty much the same shit.
Greyhounds.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, pretty much the same shit. But anyway, it's set up in that kind of style where you're like, if you were going to do pool like a spectator sport, it's pretty cool. I hadn't seen it before.
Have you ever seen how the World Series of Poker is set up? Where they have all these tables right next to each other.
It's that,
except they're playing 9-ball and all these tables are right next to each other.
So the whole thing is like a 2-day affair. I guess there's like a qualifier.
Well, it's a tournament, right?
Yeah.
So I guess they get worn out on day one and they got to take a break.
Yeah. So one note I have here, not that it's any detriment to the movie. It certainly is not. But there is a terrible Frank Sinatra lounge singer cover band in the bar room of this place after the tournament.
I don't remember this.
It's a lady singing "The Girl from Ipanema." It's not good. So they meet in the lounge again.
Yeah,
they meet back up. Tom Cruise, Paul Newman, and Carmen. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah,
I was like Karma. Whatever.
Carmen, Vincent, and Eddie all meet up in the lounge, and he's like, "Hey, you fucker."
Yeah. So at this point in the movie, you have a good feeling. So when Eddie sees Vince and Carmen, they are hustling the guy at the bar. They're taking him from some extra money while he's like, oh, I've trained them well enough that they're actually already making money off hustling. So Vince has gotten good at playing his character at hustling, and Eddie's gotten his confidence back. He's gotten his groove back, as you would say. And he's there to win the tournament. But they both have different objectives at this point.
Yeah, because Paul Newman's not there. He's not there for money. He doesn't care about the money anymore. He wants to make sure, because he knows he can still hustle, kinda, but he knows he for damn sure can't play pool.
So I will say Paul Newman is there to prove that he's the best player in the world by winning this tournament. Vincent is there
to make money,
to hustle. He's perfected the hustle.
He finally figured it out.
He went on this road trip, perfected what he was supposed to perfect. And these final scenes show it. It's great. Do you want to lead into that?
Well, no, I'm all about leaning into it. So the tournament goes on, and eventually it is Paul Newman versus Tom Cruise.
Right. Paul
versus Tom, war on the shore. Somebody is drowning in Snatch.
Right. So they get to this bracket type of situation where they're faced off against each other. And
long montage, but
so
this one works.
The 9-ball game is, you can't just win one game of a pool game and say you're the winner. You got to win best of, I don't know, 7, best of, probably something crazy, 21 or something.
Right. Yeah. First one to win X amount of games.
So the montage goes on, and you see a scene where Vince has this bank shot. If you don't know what a bank shot is, you hit it off one rail and expect to go into the rail on the opposite side of that. And Vince barely misses his bank shot, and it bounces right off next to the pocket. And he's playing his part. He's playing, man, that sucked. Nobody knows you as a viewer don't know the difference. That
you think that he just eventually choked.
I was like, oh, he really did choke, and you're like, dang, that sucks for him. And then Paul Newman comes through, and he just mops up the rest of the game. He
just cracks it in, and that's that.
And he shakes Vince's hand at the very end of the game.
Vincent fucking slams his new stick down in his box and zips it up and walks off. He's pouting like a little bitch.
Again, he's playing that character. He's like, I lost playing this. I'm upset that I lost this.
Oh, yeah.
And Paul Newman, or Eddie, he's on high on the world. I beat the best player in the world here.
He's walking out. Instead of like going to the exit where his car is, he takes the nearest exit door, and as soon as he's outside, he's like, yes! Fuck yeah!
He's on top of the world. He's back, baby.
He's feeling so good. And then he goes back to his hotel room. His like wife or girlfriend or whoever has showed up, played by Helen Shaver. So she shows up, and they're having sexy time, or they're having champagne. They got bathrobes on, or whatever.
They're having the similar scenes that Tom Cruise and his wife or girl were having during the whole road trip.
Yeah, exactly.
The younger version.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's having the older version, of having a little champagne, wearing a bathrobe. Oh, in a hotel. I'm a good pool player.
Right.
So anyway, Tom Cruise knocks on the door, and he comes in, and he gives him how much?
Here's your $8,000. Here's your cut. Because as Eddie's been handling, I guess, Vincent this whole time, he has a 60% cut in every winning that he has.
Yeah.
Vincent walks into his room, says, "Here's $8,000. This is your cut." Eddie looks at him like, "What? My cut? This wasn't a hustle. I just beat the best in his mind, I just beat the best pool player in the world."
Yeah. That's not what happened.
Vincent all smiles. "This is your cut."
Because he threw the game.
Then he goes and explains that the hustle. I just dumped. They use some phrasing that's kind of weird now. I just lost the game on purpose.
Yeah, because I bet on Paul Newman.
I bet on you to win.
Yeah,
and he's like, "What the fuck?" It's like my whole thing was the hustle. What are you doing?
It's a switcheroo double cross, kind of a fucking. I'm just waiting for him to be like, "I'm putting a team together." Paul Newman gets all pissed off, and he's talking to Carmen. And he's like, "I just want his best fucking game. That's it. That's all I want. Just want his best game."
Right.
She's like, "Well, fucking ask him." And he's like, "He won't give it to me." Whatever the deal is. So they finally sit down to play. Paul Newman's getting ready to make a pool shot. And they show his reflection in the 8-ball as he's lining up his cue. And you can tell that particular shot, it's just like watermarked almost. That they shot his face and then they just pasted it over an 8-ball.
Right. So
it didn't age great, but for 1986, looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So during the tournament, after he leaves the room and he beat Vince, right?
Oh yeah.
And so he's still in the tournament. He's in it for the money to win the championship or whatever it is. He's maybe in the semifinals or something. But he goes in there, and he's playing this random guy that's not Vincent. He knows Vincent's just hustled him. He's the best player in the world. He goes in this other room and playing the tournament, and you get that scene that you're explaining where he's shooting, and then he looks into the 8-ball, and the 8-ball reflects back to him, his reflection, and he's looking at it like, he's like, "Why am I playing in a tournament when I know the best player in the world isn't in the tournament any longer," which is why he's there. So he wraps it up. He's like, "You know what?
Forfeit.
I forfeit." Like, he just walks away like a boss. Like, who does that? He's like, Paul Newman doesn't care. He's like, "You're not even on my level that I care to even try now."
Right.
Like, my whole confidence my whole career was just crushed by this kid that I used to be. And now I'm here playing old people pool. I don't know. Why am I here? So he gets all pissed off and he goes to leave. Vincent's girl
when he sees Carmen
brings money back and says, we can't take this money that you gave back to us because Vince, this is your money. If you want to give it away to a charity.
Give it to charity.
It's not ours."
Yeah, and he's like, "I just want his best game." That's where that conversation takes place. A couple of minutes of like scene shots or whatever, and it's him and Vincent, and they're talking, and they're racking him up, and Vincent's racking him, and Paul Newman goes to break, and he, you know, breaks the balls, and then he's like, "I'm back, baby."
Yeah. The movie kind of ends in a fashion of you feel like Vince is on top of the world in his hustle, and
if everybody would have jumped and put their hands in the air and like it would have stopped, like done stop motion, that would have been kind of the same feel. But
this was the theatrical Martin Scorsese way of showing you they're all on top of their respective worlds, and it was great.
Anyway, great movie. There are some famous cameos in this movie, a lot of which I'm not familiar with. Iggy Pop is in the movie.
Yeah, he was the guy with a shirt that said, what do you have on? He said, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman on his shirt. Nice. I was going to look it up, and I was like, that has to be a movie. It has to be something.
It is.
Yeah.
Iggy Pop,
he looks young and strung out.
yeah, he just looks like an old, skinny, blonde, strung out guy. And I was like, is that Iggy Pop? I looked it up. It sure is. What we do is give me a thumbs rating about this movie. 1 out of 10 thumbs.
Ooh, 10.
If you had 10 thumbs.
10 thumbs. Okay.
10 thumb movie being a movie that there are no problems with. It's just a perfect film. Yeah.
So this movie for me was it was a fun movie. It was part of my growing up, my adolescence type of movie. So kind of one of those movies that's close to my heart to try to grade. So I'm gonna be a little positive on my thumbs here.
Yeah, it's like a comfort flick.
Do you do whole thumbs, or do you
can do partial thumbs? I'll put you in the ballpark. I'm doing 7 3/4 thumbs.
Okay. 7 3/4 thumb.
7 3/4 thumbs is a damn fine review from me.
So I was thinking right in the same ballpark. I'm thinking 8 thumbs.
You going 8 thumbs?
8 solid thumbs.
Yeah. So Color Money, good flick. Enjoyed it front to back. If you've never seen it and you just listened to all this, well then you know that it was pretty entertaining. That's unfortunately where we're going to end it for the Color of Money, but that's not the end of the show, which also sucks. We're about to watch I swear to God, I'm not fucking picking on this guy. I know we already did one movie with him starring in it. But I looked up like 14 different movies about pool, and I looked for the one with the worst rating, and it happened to star Freddie Prince Jr. in a movie called Shooting Gallery. So this is from December 26th of 2005, written and directed by Keani Waxman, Freddie Prince Jr., Ving Rhames, and Rosalind Sanchez.
I mean, Freddie Prince Jr. and Ving Rhames. What do you expect here?
I don't.
And you said you looked up a bunch of pool movies. I mean, how many pool movies are there?
Maybe 14. It's not very many. And a bunch of them, just so you know, were about swimming pools. So it's hard to look up bad pool movie and just get things specifically about the sport. But I could recall at least one other pool movie that I personally have seen that wasn't even on that list. But from my recollection, it was a decent movie, so we wouldn't be looking at it anyway.
Yeah, right. Pool Hall Junkies probably.
Yeah, Pool Hall Junkies, exactly. That's a good, fun kind of hustler movie. Yeah, it's old and probably didn't hold up well. Haven't seen it in a long time. Don't know. But what I do know is I'm about to go watch Shooting Gallery, have a couple of drinks, and we'll come back and talk about it.
We'll wrap it back up, and it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, we're going to put a bow on it. If you or a loved one suffer from moderate to severe apotemnophilia, your limbs can get in the way. That's why there's Raparmozoltanol. Raparmozoltanol is not a salve, but a pill that treats the condition differently. With zipretamine, 75% less desire to amputate your limbs is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to zipretmozine. It may cause nosebleeds, loss of vision, anxiety, and anal discharge. Flapzendanol is known to cause prolonged erections and death. If you experience these symptoms, contact your mechanic immediately, as they may become permanent. Contact your physician if fuel prices exceed $3 per gallon in your local area. Omnizane should not be taken orally and should never be taken during a solar eclipse, unless you have missed a dosage in the past 36 months. If you missed the solar eclipse dosage, it is recommended to have finished your will, as death is a likely side effect. Some people taking Omnizane reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may change your prescription. Frequent liquid fecal matter and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about any current medications or if you're pregnant or plan to become pregnant. This ad is not real. Nothing is real. If you bought any of this, contact a psychiatrist. Take your life back with zipretmozine. I just wrapped up Shooting Gallery. It's a December 25th, 2005 release. Keene Waxman directed and written. Freddie Prince Jr., Ving Rhames, Rosalind Sanchez. They made this movie on a budget of $6 million, which would have been better served by burning it to warm the homeless.
Oh my goodness.
And it made $6.2 million at the box office. They really wanted you to know that they made that extra $200,000. Jackson, what did you think about this? Give me a thumb rating right out of the gate.
I would not give any thumbs. I need a couple thumbs.
Oh,
give it.
Okay. Let me back up a little bit. Rate it. Give me thumbs out of it being just a regular movie. Like if you've never seen it before and you just randomly put it on TV and something possessed you to finish the movie. How many thumbs?
I have to give a thumb.
You have to give it. I mean, you could say I give it no thumbs, but
I don't see why I would say.
I'm telling you right now, there's movies worse than this. I promise you that because I've seen several of them.
Okay. 2 thumbs seems like a lot, but I'll give it 2.
You're going to give it 2 thumbs up. Wow, you heard it here first, folks. Jackson gives Shooting Gallery from 2005 2 thumbs up. What a sick fucking puppy. 2 thumbs out of a possible 10 thumbs. That's a little more realistic. Now, also give me a thumbs rating as you knew it was a bad movie when you went into it.
Oh, okay. So
as a bad movie, how does it hold up?
As a bad movie, man, it's bad. Whew, 5.
5? Okay, yeah, that's probably fair. I was gonna give it 1 thumb as a movie because it's super convoluted.
You tricked me.
It's super convoluted, and I fucking hate it. As a bad movie, it's kind of fun to make fun of. Like, all right, we're just gonna dive right into it here, but there's some. I gotta tell you, there's some fucking old, dirty, nasty. The movie's really like sexist and homophobic, which is weird because it came out in 2005. And I thought we were a little bit past that.
I don't know. I have no idea. That movie made me feel a little blind just watching it visually.
All right.
I'm a little dumber.
So, opening credit, they got kind of like an old Western kind of hip hop score going in the back. Didn't hate that.
You're right. No, that was a decent song to lead into. Like, okay, it's not going to be as bad as I think it's going to be.
And then they like kind of pan in from like behind a building onto like an awning on a hotel or a motel maybe. And they were using this god awful like lo-fi camera filter. And it just does not. It's grainy and it's hard to look at.
I'm trying to envision how to actually explain that, except that it was a 2000s movie, like a Bad Boys like ripoff.
Look, there was a lot of like lo-fi, like hot neon colors in like late 90s cinema.
Yeah,
but from my recollection, I thought we were over that shit in 2005.
Apparently, I have a very good feeling that this director was from Miami and was on cocaine.
So yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I've got something very similar to that written down. I've got here. There's a Perry Mason looking motherfucker standing outside of a hotel room. Random guys roll up and start shotgunning people and the whole room. Like they're shooting the walls, the floor, the mirrors, the dressers. They're blowing everything up, and then you've got a classic suitcase of money.
So you made some great notes because I couldn't follow much here. You're gonna walk me through this movie, and I'm gonna like hang on because I have a lot of notes. They don't really connect for me. There was 1 or 2 connecting pieces I remember right off the bat. Ving Rhames was the Tom Cruise connection, like Mission Impossible. That's one connection.
Okay.
And then the other connection was it seemed like at the very first scenes they were ripping off The Color of Money verbatim in a new lingo kind of situation.
In a real made up lingo.
But it's like they're trying to do the exact same scene, just is like a high schooler would do it in the 2000s.
I'll give you an example right out of the gate in the first 2 minutes of the film. Ving Rhames walks in after these guys have shotgunned up the whole building and points his gun at a guy. And they had a magic 8-ball on the floor, and Ving Rhames says,
"Oh shit, I forgot about that.
You scratched on the 8-ball, son." And then it's implied that Ving Rhames shoots him.
They say that line a couple times. You scratched on the 8-ball. Like, what?
Yeah. Hey, whoa, hey, what are you doing? Trying to scratch on the 8-ball? It's fucking so weird. And there's no one's ever talked like this ever. Nobody ever. But they do it constantly. It's every other sentence is like a racial slur or a made up like seedy underworld pun.
They were definitely making puns up or trying to make up like this is how they would say this in this situation, but no one would ever say that in real life. Like they're just like, this is how we think they would say it. I'm pretty sure this is what they would say.
Yeah.
No real world application. Just this is what they would say.
So you see the scene, and then it cuts to like what looks like a subway waiting room, maybe like where there's like chairs and stuff. I don't know. You can't really tell what it is. Maybe like a train station depot or something.
The Harry Potter scene.
Yeah, something like that. I don't fucking know. But they're doing this weird thing where they've got like pool shooting lingo showing up on the screen.
Oh yeah.
It looks as if this is like somebody's PowerPoint presentation, and it's not working for me.
They definitely like maybe they were trying to connect parts of the story with that, because I definitely didn't get that connection. Maybe I didn't read that.
I didn't read it either. Show don't tell.
Oh, they were definitely telling a lot.
If it's not preface, and believe me, it's fucking not. Show don't tell. Show don't tell. You could have done all that stupid shit in a 30-second like intro scene, which they still did for some reason after the fact, which was almost verbatim, word for word, the intro from The Color of Money.
I feel dumber watching that movie. Like, I'm trying to plug the plot holes together here.
I'm actually picking up on what the whole movie's about.
Okay.
It's bad. And I understand why you don't get it.
My brain just doesn't function in that manner. I don't know.
It's super convoluted. So if it's incredibly difficult to follow from the get-go, I don't know. It's fucking dumb though.
I think you explained earlier maybe the overlying theme to the actual movie, and I was like, I'm glad you caught that.
Yeah, no, I can tell you what happens. We're gonna run through it here real quick though. I think I'd like to spend more time beating this movie up than actually talking about it. So there's a racist guy right at the beginning. I mean, like first 5 minutes is pretty like immediately racist. 10 minutes in, this is the same movie as The Color of Money, but somehow much worse. It's got awful grunge techno music,
rave situation going on in the background. It's like, is this a pool hall? There's a pool hall going on here.
We had to stop watching the movie for 5 minutes to Google something because we were both positive that Ashton Kutcher played a crossdresser.
If you watch this movie for any reason, watch it for that scene, because I'm pretty sure he
uncanny.
Just deleted his IMDb.
They just deleted him off of it.
We're gonna delete you
for $10,000. You were never in it.
This character doesn't exist. You weren't in here. You're good.
Yeah, it's a spot on Ashton Kutcher.
Pretty sure it's him. I'm still pretty positive.
Sounds like him too. Same kind of cadence. You know what I mean? Right after this, Rosalind Sanchez's character is talking to this Ashton Kutcher looking crossdresser, and then time jumps 2 months.
I forgot about that.
For apparently no reason. That's why I wrote that shit down.
Like, I forgot they put that, like, time jump 2 months. Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. And then Freddie Prince Jr. he's getting an 8-ball tattoo because now he's part of the 8-ball tattoo gang.
But now thinking back, the 2 months that they're trying to impose, like, they're trying to do that for the end of the movie to make it more dramatic. But it's only 2 months.
Yeah.
It's not like
dramatic.
A 10-year jump.
Why couldn't it be like?
I thought he was a kid in that scene.
It could have been 2 days later. It wouldn't make a difference. It could have been the following day. It doesn't matter in the timeline.
Next week, guys.
See here. Team tattoos. Ving Rhames. His nickname is Cue Ball.
Cue Ball.
Cue Ball. The fuck. This movie I've written here in my notes. So this is the color of old pocket change,
Pretty much. I mean,
instead of the color of money. Yeah.
There's a tribe, I think, at some point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
2 months later, I wrote question mark.
Yeah. They keep going back to this, like the train depot text on screen thing.
Yeah, it's bad.
They keep going back to it in the middle of the movie. They're like, "Hey, you guys remember what opening credits look like? Here's some." in the middle of the movie. It's fucking bizarre and useless.
I tried to write down a few things here.
Okay.
I can't read what I was writing because I don't know if I understood what they were actually saying.
What'd you write? What do you got, Jackson?
I can't read it.
Okay.
I don't know.
So there's a hustle montage, but it's not. It's okay. So again, which we talked about previously, a hustle is when you're gambling somebody for something, you're losing deliberately to get them to bet more money so you can beat them and just win all the money on one game. That's how the hustle kind of works. So there's a bit where Freddie Prince Jr. is hustling this guy in a pool hall. He's hustling everybody in the pool hall, but he's just winning every game. And then they're like, "Hey, you some kind of hustler, bro?"
There's no build up to it. There's no underlying themes.
No, there's no him losing.
Winning right
there's
now?
no him losing deliberately. He just beat the shit out of everybody in there. They're like, you fucking some kind of, you come in here and hustle everybody? Never been in here before and just don't lose a game all day? What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, there's no actual hustle to it. He's just good.
Yeah, it's super weird. This movie is just wow. It's crazy how socially different the world is from 2005. Like, there's a lot of, "Hey, you queer? You want to suck this dick?" Like, there's a lot of, like, "Hey, that pussy's dangerous." Look at this mama, she's a hot little chili pepper. It's just fucking real weird.
There was a line in there that said, was it, "Are you a cop or a queer?" It's like, where are you coming up with this? Like,
nobody says that.
We wouldn't, like, who would have said that ever? Like, what is? So there's like 4 or 5 lines. Like, that's how you guys decided to approach the conversation, right? Yeah. So there's a few lines where you're just scratching your head, like, they're trying to go for something there.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. No one knows what it is. Yeah. It's just racist or just bad taste.
The dialogue in this, it's like a cross between, like, Sylvester Stallone meets like Boston meets like somebody's racist grandpa.
So halfway through the movie, Freddie Prince Jr. changes his accent to Sylvester Stallone. He's like, "Hey guys,"
he slowly gets more like, "Hey, what do you want?" Yeah.
Like, he's trying to be tough or something, and he changes into Stallone. He's like, "Hey, Adrian."
Yeah, I've written here that wherever this is, someone fixed the roads.
You have roads?
You have roads
in your notes?
There's a scene where they're driving a white old boat car, not unlike not unlike Paul Newman's in The Color of Money. They're hitting these potholes full of water that, Jesus Christ. I mean, they're getting, the splash factor is like 6 feet off of these things. I mean, they're about to wreck this car in these potholes.
That was another great point in the movie where I was like, I enjoyed that because one of the stuntmen went off on their own and was mudding in the background in a parking lot, hitting these mud holes, and the water was over the vehicle at some points.
Yeah.
So, like, background action? Oh, it was great.
Oh, yeah. They're like, just, hey, print that shit. Print it. We got it.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the directing center. It's like, that's good enough.
That's good. I think that's probably the motto on set for this whole movie was that's like, good enough.
We have a budget. We can't go over that budget. One scene per shoot.
This should have just been titled Cash Grab, only it didn't really grab any cash. It grabbed like $200,000.
200 G's in Miami.
I bet they did a lot. I bet they did a lot of coke on that $200,000 though.
All to the director. Freddie Prince career ruined. Whoever Ving Rhames, he's a Scientologist now. So,
is he really?
Tom Cruise, is he signed? Is that
Tom Cruise is a Scientologist?
Yeah, I think Ving Rhames is like same crowd.
Think so?
Pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
Google it.
Let's Google it.
Pretty interesting. Give it a quick goog. Ving Rhames.
I think he joined Mission Impossible, then Scientology. Making that up. I have no idea.
Ving Rhames. I'm not seeing anything about him.
Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Looks like he did say police held him at gunpoint inside of his own home. Anyway, okay, so about halfway through the movie, you meet the dirty cop, who was at the beginning of the movie, who looked like a fucking Perry Mason standing outside the hotel room. So he reveals that he is like a heist murder revenge cop who's undercover on a mission with a twist.
It's very confusing.
It's super convoluted. I'm gonna break the whole thing down here in just a sec, but this cop, he's having a phone call with Freddie Prince Jr. later in it. He's talking to his ex-wife. Well, he wants to see his kid. His ex-wife won't let him see his kid unless she is successfully able to extort him for $2,000.
$2,000.
Again, he's a cop. He's a cop. He could just be like, what are you, fucking blackmailing me? And she'd be like, fuck you. And he would just be like, okay, knock, knock,
I'm
knock.
gonna go arrest you.
I'm here to arrest you for blackmailing. Suck it.
But it was for $2,000 one-time upfront payment. $2,000. It wasn't per month. This is $2,000. Hey, I need $2,000 here. And they made it. I think they tried to make a big deal. I got lost.
This is my favorite part of the whole movie. Is there's a lot of anticipation around a new guy coming to the pool hall to play pool, and his name is I fucking swear to God, I'm not making this up. His name is Tenderloin Tony.
I mean, you can't make that. Who would make that up? Someone made it up and put it on screen.
Probably a butcher.
Probably
a butcher named Tony. Hey, Tony, what do you think we should call this guy? Hey, maybe call him Tenderloin Tony. I don't fucking know.
Tenderloin Tony. I got a lot of tenderloins in the back. Just, Tenderloin Tony, whatever.
Fucking pork steak Sammy and,
Huckleberry Finn.
Shit. Old rib cut Ralph.
Rib cut Ralph, shoulders Sarah.
Oh, brisket Bill. Yeah, you don't want an old smoky brisket Bill.
Catfish Carl.
Yeah, so it's really great. We finally get to meet Tenderloin Tony. And if you had to guess, without having seen this movie, when you first meet Tenderloin Tony, I would think he'd be like having somebody tied to a chair and beating him in the face. You know what I mean? Like, hey, give me my fucking money. I'm Tenderloin Tony. Hey.
I forgot, to be honest, who was who. Is this the guy in the Miami shirt?
When it opens up, no.
Okay.
No, Tenderloin Tony is not wearing any shirt or anything.
Oh, man.
He is butt naked doing crystal meth off of a digital alarm clock in a hotel room, talking about how great it is to be Tenderloin Tony. And then he turns around and gets his dick sucked by a hooker.
I blacked out part of this movie.
And then he comes as soon as his friend, who is the undercover cop. Stick with me now, people.
Okay, hold on.
So his buddy, who is the undercover cop, comes in, and he comes in the hooker's face at the same time.
And it wasn't even a big scene. It was like, I'm just coming in the door. He said hi.
Yeah, I
thought he was gonna get shot or something.
Somebody wrote this on like a 48-hour coke bender.
Yeah, it was like, just run in the door really fast, and he's gonna blow load in her face.
Yeah, it just there's a lot of throughout the whole movie, there's a lot of like a character looking through a window, but there's lighting on the outside of the window, and they have the shades pulled. So you get in those like lines on their face, like an old Dick Tracy, old school detective camera shot.
They tried to go 1920s with like just the costume,
kind of the style.
Like,
yeah,
it's like, what's going on here? Like, is this the mafia game? Like we brought up you said that Doubt character, that Doubt meme you have.
Yeah, Ving Rhames has got like a little preserved alligator head, but it's comically small.
Oh my god!
It's like, I don't know, like 5.5 inches. This is not very big. It's a tiny little thing, and there are 2 or 3 parts in the movie where he like picks it up and he's gently stroking it like it's some sort of prized possession. So pretty sure you can get these things for like $12 on eBay.
You have a totally different view of what I saw that whole time. I thought he had a fried alligator,
whole
gator, like, and he was eating different parts of it in different scenes. Because at the very end, he's eating a foot. It's really big.
Yeah, he is like sucking on
like
an alligator
during
foot.
A pool game.
Yeah, he's got like one of the toes in its mouth.
And like earlier, I thought he had like a fried like shoulder or something. Like,
okay,
I don't know what was going on. He had a bunch of fried food in his mouth, and I thought it was an alligator.
I know they're going to. They're doing a lot of showing, not telling here, but I would like them to show or tell me why Ving Rhames is like chewing on an alligator foot all the time. And like dipping it in water or bourbon or something. Maybe it's like a fried alligator foot. Is that a fucking thing?
Maybe it was a turkey foot.
I'd try it out. Maybe he's dipping it.
I mean, I like a lot of food, but they were going for something there. I couldn't pick it up because there was a cut scene where he was grabbing onto a leg that he had fried.
I bet it's a pickled alligator foot.
And then he picks up this random alligator, little miniature head. I'm like, what is that? Why is he holding an actual head with eyes and teeth?
Yeah. He's dipping it in a little malt vinegar. It's like it's just a pickled alligator.
Maybe that's
foot.
A southern thing that we haven't picked up on.
Fuck, I don't know. I'd try it though. I mean,
I would eat it.
Apart from
maybe
looking
not the teeth.
like an insane
or the head,
the
actual skull,
gigantic pimp from the 80s. I don't know, man.
This movie hurt my soul. It took me.
The farther we get into the movie, Freddie Prince Jr. is just slowly taking an ass beating everywhere he goes, and I don't mean in pool. You're getting like battle damage, Freddie Prince Jr.
Did we go over the porn scene?
Or
was that the other scene?
There was
Is there multiple scenes? There was one scene where we're like, oh, it's coming back a little bit because the chick came back.
Yep.
Like, oh, it's coming back, and then just drugged went out and changed in the middle of sex.
Yeah. Well, they haven't. I don't even think they had to. They certainly didn't show us. If they certainly didn't show it, if that's
so she's wearing one thing in bed. Like they're already getting it on.
Oh yeah, she gets up, walks in the other room, and comes back on with like an equal amount of clothing on.
She's like, I needed to change during sex. I need a new outfit for the second. I don't know if it was. That's not what. Like she was just in the bed with him, and they're both naked, and she was. There was something going on there, like, and then they wrapped it up like the following morning. I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but I know she changed in the middle of a scene. I was like, "What is this?" You're supposed to take those clothes off in the sex scene.
Well, there's another slightly different homage a little later in the film, back to like A Color of Money. Ving Rhames offers to take him on the circuit. Take a little road trip.
Completely blacked out on that one.
Yeah. Well, that happened too. And then I've got here.
So the movie's called The Shooting Gallery. Yeah. I think.
Well, the Shooting Gallery is the name of Ving Rhames' bar, like where you first meet Freddie Prinze. So, it's like where most of the movie takes place.
I had written down that it's not just a hustle on pro players, as if we circle back to what Vince and Eddie did. They're hustling people deep pockets,
and bustling,
and people that are going to be in a pool hustling hall. Yeah. This looked like you go to your regular bar in 2005 and you're hanging out with your friends, and you go to this one random place, and the pro pool players are just going to hustle every random Joe that comes in.
Yeah,
and it was just weird. Like, why would you do that? Like, they don't have money.
Agreed. Yeah, it's just the whole timing of the whole movie is real weird. It kind of jumps from scene to scene. I'm already damn near at the end of my notes here. I've got that Ving Rhames is sucking on a gator foot and tells the donut factory joke, which is where he's like, I used to work at a donut factory with your girlfriend. Yeah,
pretty bad.
Worked there for a long time. She used to suck the holes out of the donuts. She's damn good too. I don't know.
They were in the middle of a pool game, and then like they just brought into this extreme visual.
Okay, so
your girl worked in a donut factory and she was sucking out the jelly in the donuts.
So I'll break the whole movie down.
I do want to add one thing.
Okay, no, please add as many things as you'd like.
So we had to turn on subtitles because I couldn't understand what they were saying half of the time,
and half of the subtitles say inaudible.
So there's inaudible where I kind of get it, like they've made this whole movie and there's an inaudible sound that somebody makes.
Right.
Or an inaudible end of a sentence or beginning of a sentence. In this movie, there was multiple times in the middle of someone talking in a sentence, the person had to write inaudible. Like Mary had a inaudible lamb.
Yeah.
Like they didn't understand what they said either. And I was like, that person didn't understand it. How am I supposed to understand it? They're writing it out.
Yeah, it just this suffers from a lot of poor dialogue writing, I think. But
they would also spell out the words that were not words. Like I wrote something down, but it was bad. Like trying to announce say something that is, it's not, there's no words for it.
Yeah, it's dumb.
But they tried to spell it out as a word.
Oh, yeah. I remember that scene. It's like
what?
Flumberdiggle or something like that, but they tried to spell it out. Like, that's
not
not
a
a
word.
fucking thing. The whole movie was dumb on the whole. I'll tell you what the whole movie was about right now. If you're not ready, well, then fucking buckle up. So you've got... I'm going to give you 4 characters, and I'll tell you what the entire movie is about.
I need you to tell me this because I blacked out.
Checked out. You've got Ving Rhames. You've got Dirty Cop, Freddie Prince Jr., and the guy at the very beginning of the movie who scratched on the 8-ball, quote unquote, who Ving Rhames was about to shoot in the head. That guy's the main character. Nope, not the cop. It was like when the shotgun, at the very beginning of the movie, when the shotgun guys walked in and started blasting everybody, and then Ving Rhames comes in and goes, hey, you scratched on the 8-ball, son, and went to go shoot the guy in the face. That's a main character.
I'm not going to try to explain anything. Because
okay.
I tried to put 2 and 2 together. That I did not get to that point.
I'm going to lay it all down for you right now.
Okay.
So what actually happened in that scene, if they would have showed you the next 10 seconds, my God, they could have saved us a ton of time if they would have. Ving Rhames is in lieu with Dirty Cop. Dirty Cop came in and shot the guy laying on the floor. The guy laying in the floor was the older brother of Freddie Prince Jr. So Freddie Prince Jr. sets up a long hustle to get into Ving Rhames' pool hall, to get in his quote unquote back pocket and be like his main number one guy. The whole time, because he knows the Dirty Cop is also tied to Ving Rhames because of the tape that proves that they killed that cop. So the only thing worse than a dirtbag is a cop who's a cop killer, is what they say in the film. So anyway, throughout this whole scenario, Freddie Prince Jr. hustles Ving Rhames into putting the tape of both of them murdering that cop up for a bet on a pool game, and then he wins it so he can take the tape. But Dirty Cop's already in the room. Dirty Cop wants the tape. Ving Rhames wants to keep the tape, but he already put it on the table. So really, it's quote unquote up to Freddie Prince Jr. I'll stop saying quote unquote. Doesn't make sense. If you don't understand where my air quotes are, don't even worry about it. Freddie Prince Jr. wins the pool game, snatches the tape, and then those two have a shootout and wind up killing each other. And then Freddie Prince Jr. sends the tape to the police so they can set the record straight for those 2 cocksuckers killed Freddie Prince Jr.'s older brother.
Did we watch the same movie?
Yep.
That's what you got out of it? How did...
That actually happened. That's not what I got out of it. That's the whole synopsis for the movie. But do you see how fucking stupid that is? That is so many layers. What do they call it? There's a word for it in the film industry, like a sock barrel. It's like a thing on top of 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 a thing. It gets so convoluted. It clouds up. It muddies the story, which is not good to begin with. It's the color of money. It's the color of money, but they're like, let's add a cop and murder and more drugs.
And it's 20 years later, we should say.
For $4 million less dollars, yeah, I would have just I don't know, invested it. You'd have got a bigger return than $200,000. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm pretty sure that's a fake number. I can't put a full sentence together on the movie. I don't know how you put a full paragraph there together.
Well, it's a shame that that's what the whole movie had to be about. See that big old long thing? My favorite movie from last year was Jojo Rabbit. You know what it's about? A little boy learning he's not racist.
Pretty simple. I thought it ended like 3 times.
I was wishing it ended 7 or 8 times. There's like one gnat in here and he's driving me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a bad movie. It was kind of fun to make fun of. I got a couple of good jabs in there. My favorite part of the whole thing is Tenderloin Tony.
Tenderloin Tony. What a great name.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, if you're just gonna snort some crystal off a clock radio and get a head job from a hooker, by God, your name better be Tenderloin Tony.
And again, this movie was made by a coke dealer in Miami. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Probably. Those are probably fake names. But it's a bad movie. It's not good. If I were to try to make it better, geez, I tell you what I would have done, really. I would have spent another $4 million on it and got Martin Scorsese to direct it. Zing.
I would have fired everyone immediately, and the actors were acting the whole time.
Okay, so now comes the difficult part of the podcast. is because we've had a bunch of drinks and we watched a really not good movie, and we have to figure out a way to make it profitable within reason of its original budget of $6 million.
First thing I can think of.
Okay.
2 or 3 minutes into the movie, I think I was going blind from the visual.
Yeah,
like,
I'm right there with you.
First thing I would do is you got to fix it. You can't do whatever that is. The tinted, like, I think the whole the whole movie might have been blue.
I wonder if that's a directorial choice though, because
it had to be.
Look, this thing is very, very early 2000s, late 90s looking. That being said, it's got some redeemable qualities as far as camera work is concerned. So all the cinematography is not terrible. I think it's serviceable. Like you could make it okay if you had somebody else to cut it who knew what, like this is dumb, cut it out. Or like reshoot this shit without that stupid like trash bag filter on top of the camera.
I mean, if you remove the filter, like, it makes it 10 times better, and it might become like a level 1 movie.
Yeah, I don't know, that whole bit at the beginning.
I mean,
not good.
you clearly panned out the whole storylines. You were able to connect it. I was not. So,
it's very convoluted. That's what I have to do for this show, though. That's why I took a whole page of notes.
Right, but at least I hope our conversation would be coherent from start to finish.
Well,
maybe not. Maybe
that's
not.
for the fates to decide, my friend.
But maybe that's what that movie felt like. It wasn't coherent.
No, it was real dumb. It was real dumb, start to finish. There's a lot of it I really didn't care for. I think we're on the fence if that's a directorial thing or a cinematographer. I don't think that's cinematography though. Like,
I mean,
the director could have gone. Do you think it was? Does the director trump the cinematographer? I don't know. Write us at itsjust2movies@gmail.com, at itsjust2movies on Twitter, or we're also on the gram at itsjust2 movies. Let me know. What does a director do? Who is a key grip? What is a boom mic?
Yeah. Was it a filter? Or was that just how 90s or
no,
late 90s, early 2000 movies were supposed to be made?
The rest of the movie's not like that. That somebody made a conscious choice to go, ooh, let's do that. And it looks like shit. It's hard to look at.
Yeah, I couldn't get it out of my head. And I think I was pretty sure that happened the whole time. Maybe not.
I don't know. It's not real pleasant to look at. So I think I'm going to go with a new cinematographer. I also want a new director. I don't really care who they are. Just give me somebody else. I want to give the script a punch up because it is racist as fuck.
I think you got to rearrange some of the characters' roles. Ving Rhames is not a lead. Like, he's just not. He's a side guy.
I could have seen Ving Rhames as the dirty cop.
Yeah.
Actually, a role reversal in that to make the guy that was the dirty cop.
I think that might work a little better, actually.
That actually might work a little bit. I can see Ving Rhames as a dirty cop, but as
whatever he was, I didn't believe it. He was eating a chicken the whole time, or an alligator.
He's eating a fried alligator the whole movie. Or he's scrubbing a floor or putting a gun in Freddie Prince Jr.'s mouth.
Maybe that was a chicken foot at the end of the movie they had in his mouth. I'm not sure.
I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be. It
was big and it was fried.
It was, and he's like sucking on it while he's playing pool, like it's a lollipop.
Yeah.
It's real weird. So, I really want to give the script a punch up. It's very racist. There's so much make believe, like pool hall lingo that, to the best of my knowledge, is not real. Nobody talks like this. Hey, what do you think this is? Some kind of fucking slider?
I was gonna mention that they did. I do remember them going with the hard R's with slider, bridgers, doubler. I don't know what else they said.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was like,
listen,
what is this a theme?
You're gonna dog it when you talk to Tenderloin Tony. You understand what I'm saying? Because we want to play it like a real slider. You know what I mean? They're verbs that don't belong in descriptions.
Do you think a slider was something we're missing now that now White House is a thing?
Bro, a slider is a very tiny fucking hamburger. We all
White
know
Castle.
that. Yeah.
I mean, my bad. So is it something that disappeared? When White Castle took over the name Slider, like, we're going to take Slider. It was a thing. Freddie Prince Jr. ruined it in this movie.
I don't know, man. Let's see here. If I could make up to 2 more choices, you know,
I mean, I would fire everybody.
Freddie Prince Jr. isn't great in this, but with a better director, I think his performance could actually be serviceable. On a previous episode, we watched Wing Commander, also starring Freddie Prince Jr., who's barely in the movie. That was just a shit show from stage one. This is also, but I think his particular performance is. It's not awful. If you could have somebody go, hey, FPJ, why don't you pump the brakes a little bit on that accent?
I forgot he was in the movie at one point. And then I think he came back. I think he died in the first half. And he came back as a younger Sylvester Stallone wannabe.
Yeah, he really did. Hey, what are you talking about? It just like slowly got thicker into Stallone for the rest of the movie, and nobody went, cut. Freddie, what the fuck are you doing, man? Listen, we're professionals. Listen to the tape from yesterday. Everybody take 15, go into your trailer, listen to the tape, and come back out and give me that.
It's like they did part of the movie the first half of the year, and then like come back the second half of the year, and we forgot what we did in the first half. And we'll put both of them together here. I don't fucking know. Scripted punch-up. I mean, well, because if we're going to do the role reversal with Ving Rhames and Bad Cop, which I don't have his name written down here. I feel bad. Could you look up the guy who plays the Bad Cop? I can try. I tried to look up Ashton Kutcher earlier. Not in the movie. Pretty sure he was in the movie. We're both fairly positive that Ashton Kutcher crossdresser is. We need to hashtag that and make sure that he's pointed out. Make sure IMBD it doesn't get erased for $10,000. That's a really good idea. Maybe I'll add him. White Cop? Is that what you want? White Cop? He's the cop. I didn't write down his name. He's very forgettable. They're all very. I mean. I forgot Freddie Prince Jr. was in the movie halfway through. I was like, oh yeah, he's in here. Yeah. His girlfriend was really carrying the movie for about 20 minutes. Yeah. Rosalind Sanchez. Yeah, she was okay. And then that also got a little cheesy. You told me this at the very end of the movie because they mentioned it. And someone looks over at Freddie Prince and says, Jericho. His name was Jericho. I didn't know this. The whole movie it was. I'm pretty sure they said it twice. In the whole movie? Oh, at least. Maybe 3 times. Not much, man. Not much. I don't know what else I would do with it. I guess if I get the option to recast Freddie Prince Jr., I would. But I don't know who I would get to play him. He wasn't terrible. Like it's just the movie's terrible and he's in it. Give me like, I don't know, the guy from Out Cold. The main character from the movie Out Cold. Oh, Out Cold. They're snowboarding on the mountain. They're drinking a bunch of beer. Good call out on the movie. I haven't seen a movie in decades. Yeah, just give me anybody. Even though Freddie Prince Jr. is inherently not bad, he just needs a little more direction. If I get another thing I can do, just recast him. It's 2005. I'm going to say his star of famedom is getting ready to flicker out. He's definitely on the end of his career because I'm not sure he had a career after this movie. So this was definitely a career ender. Yeah, and a beginner for Ving. Wing Commander definitely came out before this. I mean, that was a. Oh, this was like awful. I need to make some money. I gotta pay some bills. Type of movie. Maybe. Even people in Hollywood got to work hard sometimes. Their child support's bigger than $2,000. a one time check. Child support's one-time $2,000 payment. I mean, all in all, this. I don't know. There's definitely worse movies out there. It's kind of fun to make fun of. It's cheesy. My biggest beef with the whole movie is that it's very fucking like racist and homophobic. Strange. Unless this reflects the real characteristics of a real town in 2005, but certainly not the one I'm from. Yeah, I mean, I don't. There's not a whole lot to build off of. I think they tried to build off The Color of Money. Like they started that was their starting point. This was going to be a Color of Money ripoff, and they're like, let's throw in like a cop double cross murder gangster thing. Yeah, they lost me. They lost me like after scene 1. I almost threw up because of the dizziness and the lighting effect.
You know what other genre of film suffers from this kind of shit a lot is like the heist movies.
Yeah.
Heist movies.
Cut.
Well, they get lost in this kind of shit. So it's so easy to take what you think is a good plot hook is really just a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat.
They had so many one-off side storylines. I don't know. I don't think they finished half of the movie.
A fair amount enough of it came together well enough for me to actually tell what the movie's about. That being said, I wish I wouldn't have watched it. I'll be honest with you. I was looking for a shorter movie with a worse review, but this is the worst one I could find.
So this should be on a rating of 1 to 10, but 10 being how much do you wish that you could have your time back?
Well, oh shit, like a 9.5,
right? So, how much would you wish? 1 out of 10 that you would wish that you wouldn't have done that.
Well, I do it for the show.
Okay, so you gave up time for that?
What I'm doing is I'm so selfless, Jackson, that I do it for all the people out there that want to go, that tune in just to go, I wonder what kind of things I should avoid.
I made a soul sacrifice watching that movie.
Yeah. Well, should you ever want to come back, we'd love to have you back to do it again.
I'll be back again for sure.
I don't know what the fuck else to say about this. I mean, really, I'm tapped on it. I think a different directorial choice, a little punch up with the script, maybe make it a little less racist. It'd be nice if it could even dream about passing a Bechdel test.
It's an awful movie. Don't watch it, please.
Well, it's not great.
Except for the Ashton Kutcher part.
If you really want... It's weird, though, because if you take, like, a 20-something-year-old kid from today and sit them down and make them watch Blazing Saddles, they'll be like, whoa, this is weird and racist and offensive.
This was different, though.
It wasn't when it came out.
But you could see... we just watched this one, it was like...
Yeah, this was like... had a little... I don't know, a little stank on it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's older movies where you're like,
when he's like, oh, that's dangerous pussy.
That was just flat out racist or whatever. And it was just bad. Then there's other movies where it's like they didn't understand they're racist. Apparently,
yeah, I guess I don't know, or for the sake of sheer shock comedy, that that's a thing as well. But yeah, this was not good. I didn't care for it. Absolutely, if you're hankering for some billiards action, The Color of Money is a better movie to watch.
I thought this movie might turn into a vampire movie at one point.
It kind of had that vibe.
Had a vibe. I was like, I think someone's gonna die, and then this really hot chick, is gonna bite someone. That never happened.
No, never did. Never did.
And that thought process is the same thing that I think of that movie. That's what happened to me.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not great. Jackson, you got anything to plug? You've been watching or reading or listening to anything interesting that you'd like to let other people know about that's good?
Nothing new. I mean, I'm into a lot of anime stuff. I just watch, shows. There's a lot of good story content.
Is there anything in particular that you're like, yeah, people might like that if they give it a shot?
There's a lot. Like if you've never dipped your toes into that anime world, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised if you actually gave it a chance.
Yeah, I agree. There's quite a bit of it that I'm fond of as well.
That they're very good at storytelling.
Yeah.
If you have to read some words to get there, yeah, they do a good job of that. Yeah. It's like, would you read a book?
You can read, can you not?
Right. So yeah, but, I think there's a lot of good.
We're not here to talk about reading, you fucking nerd.
Well, I mean, I just think there's a lot of good story content in general in that genre that people pass up just because it's maybe stigmatized a little bit.
Oh yeah, Death Note, Attack on Titan, that's good, some good stuff.
Attack on Titan final season coming up.
I think that's it. I think that's going to be it for me. Couple of things here. Special thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams. Please check out his music at suns.bandcamp.com. That's sunds.bandcamp.com. And another special thanks to Lamplighter Productions for our amazing artwork. Be sure to check them out on Instagram at lamplighter_productions_IL. Check us out on Twitter or Instagram at It's Just Two Movies. And we have a website too. I have no idea what the URL is yet, but it's going to be real good. If you like the show, please leave a like or subscribe. It does help the show out a lot. Who else do we have to thank? Oh, a special thank you for me for booking a guest. A special thank you for Jackson for joining us and picking the good movie.
Yeah,
which
thank
was
you
a
for
joy to
having me
watch.
on. Thank you for having me on. I've had fun.
Yeah, good. Any last words?
Do not watch Shooting Gallery. You will owe me $5 if you do.
Yo, you know, Jackson, a crisp $5.
And you're giving up part of your life for that movie.
Dude, a crisp $5 is a pretty fat tip if you're having 2 pieces of pie and 3 cups of coffee.
I mean, and we circle it back to The Color of Money. Movie's great. Go take some time and watch that movie.
Listen here. You tell him Tenderloin Tony sent you.
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that gold talk for a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob. We don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.